For generations, the foundation of a solid career was pretty straightforward. It was all about literacy and numeracy, being able to read, write, and work with numbers. That was the ticket. But today, well, a brand new skill has crashed the party, and honestly, it's changing everything.
So, if you had to bet on just one thing, what would it be? What's the single most important skill you need right now to really succeed in the professional world? It feels like a complicated question, but the answer is getting clearer by the day.
Okay, let's get right into it. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why knowing your way around AI has become so critical. We'll look at the huge gap between the demand for these skills and how ready people actually are, and then we'll explore how we can start to bridge that gap.
To put it really simply, being fluent in AI, that's the new literacy. This isn't some far-off, futuristic idea for tech geniuses anymore. It's here, right now, and it's a fundamental skill that's completely rewriting job descriptions in just about every industry you can think of.
But here's the thing. This incredibly fast shift has created a massive problem. We're staring down what you could call the great AI skills gap. The demand for people who get it, who can actually use AI effectively, is just exploding. And the workforce? Well, we're just not ready for it.
And the speed of this is just mind-blowing. Right now, more than 60% of companies are hitting the accelerator on adopting AI. This isn't some slow and steady change. It's an absolute sprint, and a lot of folks are getting left in the dust.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't just about young people starting out. It's a challenge for everyone. From Gen Z just getting into the job market to experienced baby boomers who want to stay competitive and relevant, AI fluency is fast becoming a non-negotiable for all of us.
So all of this leads to a really critical disconnect. What happens when that gap just keeps getting wider? Well, the stakes are incredibly high. Falling behind isn't just about missing out on a promotion anymore. It's a real threat to your career relevance and, honestly, to a company's ability to survive.
If you want to understand the pressure, just look at this number, 95%. That is the insane percentage of executives who are convinced their big company-wide AI projects are set up to fail. And it's for one very specific reason. They can see what's coming.
And here it is. The reason isn't a lack of cool tech or a shortage of cash. The number one thing they believe will cause failure is a lack of skills. It all comes down to the human element. They're asking, can our people actually use these powerful new tools?
So you have this situation where 95% of leaders see the urgent need for training. But then when you look at how many companies are actually providing that training, the number just falls off a cliff. That massive divide between knowing there's a problem and actually doing something about it, that is the AI skills gap.
So the big question is, how do we fix this? How do we build that bridge? Well, it's going to take a totally new way of thinking about learning. Something that's practical, easy to access, and built for how professionals actually work today.
And this is where new learning models are stepping in. Their whole goal is to tackle this problem head-on. The mission is to make AI skills understandable, practical, and accessible to everyone. For example, you have platforms like FutureProof Academy that are built from the ground up to do exactly that.
And the way they teach is so important. Instead of old-school, long, boring courses, a lot of them are using microlearning. We're talking short, engaging lessons, interactive stuff you can do on your own time. The entire approach is designed for how we really learn now, so you actually remember what you learned and can use it in the real world.
So how do you even start to break this down? Look, the path to AI fluency isn't about becoming a data scientist in a week. A really good framework usually comes down to 3 basic pillars that build real usable skills.
So what are these pillars? Well, first, you got to get the core concepts. What is this stuff and kind of how does it work? Second, you need to master prompt engineering, which is really just the art of talking to the AI to get what you want. And third, and this one is crucial, you have to be able to critically look at what the AI spits out and know the difference between what's useful and what's just plain wrong.
Okay, so we've looked at the problem, we've seen the high stakes, and we've walked through a framework for a solution. But now comes the most important part, connecting all of this back to you and to your own career. At the end of the day, this is really what it all boils down to. Technology is always going to change, and right now it's changing faster than ever before. Your ability to not just survive, but to actually thrive is going to depend entirely on how you close that gap between the crazy pace of change and your own readiness to keep up.
And that really leaves us with one final, very important question you have to ask yourself. When you look at your skills, your mindset, and the direction your entire industry is going, are you future-proof?